stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Agador, that's Aggedor, on Mumblet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin.
We've seen it, man. I don't want to see them fighting wars 20 years. When I'm not around, I don't want my grandchildren to be on the streets having a fight for their survival. And not you, ladies and gentlemen. It's our time now. It's our time to defend our future generations and our great-grand... I've got great-grandchildren, I've got grandchildren. I don't want to see them on the street having to fight to survive and to fight and protect their homes and their neighbours and their friends. That's what I'm here for. That's what Dave's here for. That's why we stand here. I'm a 68-year-old man. I can't be on the street like I was, but I'm still a voice out there. And I want to give them all the foot soldiers, the angels, the patriots across the world. We stand as one. We are one. When we stand together, there's no one in this world we cannot defeat. And that's about the governments. That's about those ones that call themselves, oh, we come in peace. No, you don't come in peace. You was put here to destroy us, and it ain't going to happen. Not on our watch. Not on our watch. You'll go with your tails between your legs like you've done in the past. Take my word for it. You will never take control of this country or our nations. There will be coming together, and you will be on the wrong end of it, as usual. That's history for you. You should look at the history books. You should read the history. We're not people to give in to people like you, barbarians, because that's what you are. We're not going to give in to you just because you've got an appeasers out there, Jimmy Choo going on. I'll never, ever will I give in to people like you, ever. Never. And I know my brothers, my sisters, patriots out there will never give in to you or this spineless government or anybody else that tries to invade this country and try to kill this country from within. Because it ain't going to happen. And that's a shout out to all your pages. Don't ever despair. I know some of you get down and think, oh my God, but you know what we got to go. We've got to go for this crap. Look at Tommy. Take Tommy for one. Look at the shit he's had to go through, guys. He's still strong. He's still standing strong. He'll be in court in a couple of weeks' time or so. And I hope you can all be there. I hope you're going to be there. I hope you're going to surround the bloody building, surround London. You know, this man's been wrongly judged by someone who's been told they want to put him away. God help them if they do. God help them. Let's not go there, Dave. I don't want to push myself out too far there.
Right. But, well, it's understood. It's understood.
Any savvy, have they got any brains, they'll realise how severe. The week before, or a week and a half before, we got a gathering next week in London of veterans who've been disrespected, ill-treated, and the government thinks that they can go on their merry way just doing this to our veterans. A 77-year-old man who's dying. They want to put him on trial. They want to put this man on trial who fought for his country. How dare they? Who the hell do they think they are? Do they have to go into these wars? Do they have to stand there watching their friends be killed? No, you sit there in your cosy little offices giving orders to these men, these brave, courageous men. How dare you? How dare you do that and let off those people that kill hundreds of people, hundreds of our soldiers? How dare you? Don't you think there's going to be a response? Listen to my words. There will be a response. More than you can't even dream of what will happen. Don't say too much, but you better listen to my words and listen to them, because you know what? You're not going to do this to our veterans. You're not going to do this to patriots in this country. This is our country. Dave, I'm sorry, I'll really let some steam off there. Let me just have a cup of tea.
Well, hey, there you go, Jeff. Yeah. Well, you gotta get some more water in the boiler there, man. You blew up a lot of steam, but you are correct about that. I mean, the veterans out there, the ones who have served, they're just like they're just like the Davy Crockett in the Alamo movie in a way. They've been there and they've done that. And there comes a point for all of us where we have to decide whether we're gonna be for right or for wrong. And Jeff, you're talking about the guys who want to put them on trial. We have them. Sadly, when you get a military system that can be bloated sometimes, and I have to say, as much of a freak as the guy was, Robert Heinlein wrote about this in a book called Starship Troopers. Book is 10 times better than the movie, people. I'll tell you that. Read the book, because it talks about a reorganization of the military where everybody fights. Instead of, in the UK, Americans, my brothers and sisters in the US, in the UK they have a medal they call the Order of the British Empire. Well, what Jeff is talking about, the guys who want to put this man on trial, they actually deserve the Order of the Office Chair. Okay? And we have the same thing going on in the Pentagon in the United States of America. People that have never heard a shot fired in anger, who are out there daring to judge our veterans, our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. Okay? It's the same thing going on in both countries. And it's disgusting, because it comes down from these people who think that the military is the same as a Fortune 500 corporation. It's some kind of a test bed for social experimentation and all this garbage. Morale in our military forces has, certainly in the UK, has never, I'm sure, been lower than it is right now. It's probably about as low as it was in the U.S. when Obama was president. Okay, but you have to have leaders who have the guts and the determination to squeeze the water out of the military and get rid of about half, at least, of these office chair warmers that you have in places in the UK, at the top of the military, and in the Pentagon in the United States of America. The job of the military, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'll keep saying it, is to train for and prosecute war. That's it. But what these people don't seem to understand is that a military force is not a police department, nor is it a collection of thugs that they give guns to. War is war, and you deal with it. Okay, and if these people have too much of a have too much of a girly man attitude towards waging warfare, then they need to find something else to do. And that goes for the UK and for the United States. It goes just as much for my country as it does for yours, Jeff. I love our military. People in my family, have been in the military.
Amen.
No officers, just private soldiers, and the highest they got to, in a lot of cases, was sergeant. Oh my God, sergeants run the military. It doesn't matter where you are, and
exactly.
They're the ones that keep us safe, and they're the ones that deserve that respect. And yes, I say not only God bless the yellow vesters, but God bless those veterans that are going to gather. And Jeff,
and they're not going away, Dave. The whole thing about this,
no,
ladies and gentlemen,
won't go away.
Don't seem to
You're
understand. Right. There'll be black ops going on this. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, they're not going away. They're not going to do a demo and then just disperse and go home. They're staying. They're staying for as long as it takes. They mean it. They're going to camp out. This is for real. And they're going to have the DFLA will be joining them. Patriots across the country will join these men. You will not disrespect, because it all comes down to the Easter Friday agreement of what was going to happen. All these guys that was fighting against and killing our soldiers and killing citizens, and the RA was doing this and doing that, they got apology letters. Our guys had to stand trial. 77-year-old man, one man the other day died. One of our veterans died. All this put upon him, he died. He's a 77-year-old man who's going through hell. He's got his body's packing up. He's got heart failure. They still want to stick him on trial in Northern Ireland. Do you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? They want to sick to put a terminally ill old gentleman on trial because they betrayed their military. They betrayed those men who had to go in all sorts of things, being spat on, having things lobbed at them, bricks, bombs, shooting at you. They did what they was ordered to do. And look what you're doing now. You're persecuting them because it's what the IRA said you had to do. So you got your peace. Well, you know you got your peace now, because what you got, there was three men who sent their medals back. And guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, you might not know this, but they also received, I think, 3 to 7 feathers, white feathers. You do know what that represents, ladies and gentlemen. A sign of cowardice in the face of the enemy. And they're proving themselves to be that, in the face of the enemy, cowardice. Tony Blair, you scumbag, you need to be swinging from the highest bloody branch in this country. Dare you disrespect our men, our fighting men. Oh, gentlemen, I'm sorry, Dave, I feel like my hair's a lot, running around with my hair a lot, mate. How dare they? It doesn't just upset me, it angers me. It really angers me to think what these guys did. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave, I just missed your post. There's nothing. I'm asking there in the Skype, Jeff, if you want to call back in, brother, because the show's about half over, and I know you may want to look at the time. I've got a tune for you. Oh, mate.
Yeah, you are. Hey, man, it's your birthday, so and plus it's your show. You can be on one if you want, man. But I do have a tune for you though that you suggested to play. If you want to call back in, we can roll that tune. It's about 3 minutes and a little over 3.5 minutes long. Yeah. And then we'll come back with the second half of the show. What do you think, man? All right. Okay, guys. Jeff's going to call back in, and what we're going to do, we're going to play a little bit of a tune here. This one here is something kind of special that Jeff found. He really did enjoy it. And since it's Jeff's birthday show, we're going to play this for him, and also because it's a good tune. I had to play him that Beatles you say it's your birthday song at the start, of course, but this is another one that he likes, and it kind of goes along with what he's been talking about so far, guys. There you go. This is about 3.5 minutes. You're listening to the English Defense League radio show, and we are associated with SHR Media now. So there you go. And here you go, guys. 3.5 minutes long. And there you go, folks. Welcome back to the English Defense League radio show with your host, Jeff, Birthday Spider Mitchell.
What a great tune. If you listen to the lyrics, ladies and gentlemen, sing the song of angry men. I mean, that's what you got now, isn't it? This is angry people. Angry people is not going to give up. who's going to fight for the banner, who's going to fight for the right. And basically that's why I wanted Dave to fight, because, this is where we are today. We've got to fight against tyranny. We've got to fight against the injustices. We've got to fight and give the voice to kids out there that have been totally disregarded, pushed under the carpet, not caring. So many children disappear every year, and a lot of them probably end up as a blood sacrifice, ladies and gentlemen. If you think I'm wrong, call me. Tell me I'm wrong, because this is what happens. When you've got evil, so dark and evil out there, where do you think a lot of these kids turn up, eh? Seems like the Muslims are doing a job with them and then pass them along to their masters so that they can abuse them, they can use them and dispose of them any way they care to, like they have done for many years. We could have put up with this. We can't have this evil on our lanes. Someone's got to stand up and someone's got to fight for these kids and give them their voice. They need justice. And what about the blood that's been spilled? What about the blood that's been spilled by these children, babies even? Don't they get a voice? Aren't they listened to? Or is it too inconvenient for you, those in power? It's because you don't really care, do you? Lucifer is who you are.
It doesn't affect them directly, Jeff. That's why they don't care. Now, no. I have a story now. I have a story now, Yeah. I have a story that I want us to get into, and I think you'll like it too. In fact, we discussed it a bit. Now, guys, Jeff and I talked about this a little bit. This is Pride Month around the world. Now, neither Jeff nor I, and Jeff will confirm this, care if someone wants to be straight, gay, bisexual, trisexual, quadrisexual. They want to have 37 genders. They want to make it with a bagel, or an oak tree, or a 1971 Dodge Charger. Okay, whatever. All right, that's fine. But as Jeff says, keep it away from our kids. Okay, keep it. You don't have to wave it like a flag all the time, and then try and infiltrate it with our children. Now, Jeff, the story I've got, it came off of this site called the Russia Insider. Okay, now normally when I see sites like that, I go, yeah, okay, is this real or is this not real? But I do have an audio that confirms this. Okay, now the headline on this one, guys, if you want to go looking for this story, it's by Brian Brown, and it was published on the 20th of this month. All right, the headline on it is U.S. Embassy. This is what our U.S. Embassy is still doing, guys. We still have a lot of work to do from the Obama administration. U.S. Embassy pushing LGBT agenda on the country of Georgia. The people fight back. 97% say no to gay pride. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead, Jeff, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and play this. This, I think, is something you're going to find very interesting. It's about just under 6 minutes long. You ready for this, brother?
Yeah, go for it, Tom.
All right. Okay, guys, you're listening to the English Defense League radio show. This is a report from CBN, from the Christian Broadcasting Network, which they did on the 19th of this month. So here you go, guys.
Now to the East European nation of Georgia, where pro-family groups are protesting plans by LGBTQI supporters to hold a parade event in the capital city this week. Georgia, one of the oldest Christian countries in the world, has been fighting an aggressive gay and lesbian agenda for years, largely funded by liberal groups in the United States and Europe. Scuffles broke out this week on the streets of Tbilisi, the capital, between those for and against the Pride event. The head of Georgia's Orthodox Church believes holding the Pride event will offend Georgia's largely Christian society, and he urged gay activists to call off their plans. Levan Vasadze, a leading pro-life advocate, said his country will not accept a sexual lifestyle that runs contrary to Georgia's family traditions and Christian values.
We still have a very strong sense of virtue and sin. Sin is something to be ashamed of, and we will not allow normalization, glorification, and celebration of sin. This is not our way.
Joining me now from the capital city of Tbilisi is Levan Vasadze. He's been playing a vital role in pushing back against the LGBTQ agenda in Georgia. Levan, thank you so much for coming on the show. You believe there are certain liberal groups, primarily in the United States, that are trying to erode Georgia's Christian heritage and values, right?
Hi, George. Yes, and I wish he was only in Georgia. I actually wish he wasn't in Georgia or anywhere else in the world. But we know that this is the ugly heritage from the last 2 decades, basically, of the liberal domination, which befell upon the world after the collapse, and thank God, collapse of the Marxism. And when we lived inside Soviet Union, we longed for the Western freedom. We looked at the United States as the shining city on the hill, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of private enterprise. And what a disappointment it has been. Little did we know that in that time, an erosion of basic fundamental Western American, if you'd like, values was on the way. And when we met, the picture was completely different. In this poor country where 1% of population lived below the poverty line when Soviet Union collapsed, now 10% of population live below that line, and we have halved in population from 6 million to 3 million, largely because of the unlimited liberal policies on abortion. UN has placed us on the list of endangered nations and languages, and basically we're being exterminated. Yeah. And this looks like the last nail in our coffin.
Levan, LGBTQ activists say they will hold the Tbilisi Pride event even though they don't have permission from your country's Ministry of Internal Affairs. What's your reaction to this?
We're worried for them. Yesterday they had a huge interactive live on the main television channel, and people were asked, do you want the Pride to be held, the so-called Pride to be held? We don't understand what's there to be proud of. And 97% of people said no, and 3% said yes. And so we see a clear and present danger of violence. And because our fragile puppet state is under tremendous pressure by the likes of George Soros, the U.S. Embassy here, unfortunately, we said that if our government cannot protect these people, we will. And so we called on the conservative, what you call conservative, basically, hardworking men, fathers of families. We said, let's go there. And if they still do it, and if our foolish police tries to hold some sort of a shield there, we're worried about they're trying, basically what their plot is to turn us into a mob, and we don't want to allow it. And so we said, we'll go in there with empty hands, white handkerchiefs on our hands, break through the police cordons, and remove whoever is there before something terrible happens to them, including those foreign ambassadors, if they dare to do this, and just get them out of there, And of course, because of that, we are the aggressors, we are the violent cannibals who cannot tolerate other kind. And I think it comes down to a cultural depth, and I think it comes to the utter shallowness of globalists who think that everyone should be the same. They don't understand that cultures are fundamentally different, and if whatever norms Western societies, which we want to be friends with, have come to through their natural organic evolution, cannot be quantum leaped and imposed upon us, because we have our course of history, and there's nothing we can be taught about tolerance. I was meeting with the legendary Israeli President Shimon Peres once in Jerusalem, and I was shocked when he said, because everybody knows that Georgia is regarded as the only non-anti-Semitic country in the history of the world. Jews have lived here for 2,600 years.
Levan, I'm sorry, we've run out of time. I'm going to have to leave it there. We will continue to follow this story. Levan Vazadze is talking to us from the capital city of Georgia, Tbilisi. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
There you go, guys. This is, Jeff, go ahead, brother. Take a bite out of that.
I think it just sums it up. They call themselves a pride, don't they? They say this is pride. Well, how is it pride? I thought it was lions that had a pride. With the female lionesses. What they class themselves as lionesses or something? Pride. What's pride about it? Why don't they just change the name to something that's got nothing to do with pride? Because this is humiliating. This is, I don't know, Dave. I don't know. I don't know what I want to call it.
You know what, brother? You and I had this
depravity.
discussion. And
I don't know.
Yeah, depravity. That's a good one. But yeah, we had this discussion. And look, there's the guy talked about the culture of death. Very interesting way he said it, because if you look at Mohammedan men, almost none of them are buying into either mass abortions or this gay pride stuff. They're still manly men. They're still keeping their manliness. Now, we may object to how they project that manliness onto everybody else, but they're not backing off from being men. Mohammedan men are still men. They may, again, we may not approve of what they do. But they're still men.
You've got gays amongst the Muslims, don't you? I think there's not, because there are.
No, there are gays among them. There are. Well, there are gays among them, Jeff. But you see what they do to them. There's none of this gay pride among the quote unquote culture of Islam, and yet you see that being pushed on us as people in both of our countries. In the UK you see it. You also see it. I mean, my God, in the UK you see, gays for Muslims or gays for Islam, which it's just crazy. In the United States, you see these freak jobs out there, twerking on top of police cars, because they have, 39 genders. I mean, my God. Okay, look, you should never be. God made people the way He made them. Okay, and who you are and what you do is between you and God, and that's fine. Okay, but don't wave it around like a flag. And as I said to start this off, and Jeff, I know you agree with this. Keep it away from our kids. Let our kids grow up and then make their own decisions about what they want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying. And that is it for this time. Next time, part 3. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye. The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2019. Anno Domini. Now for Dave's Canes. Extras that help you navigate the new media world.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
The new show on the SHR Media Network, Sackheads Against Tyranny. On shrmedia.com. Go there quick like a bunny, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, every Wednesday. Live and direct on the SHR Media Network. shrmedia.com. Be there.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
Hey girls, Carry Girl Gear is here. More and more women every day are concealed carrying, participating in competitive shooting, and getting firearms training. It's not a boys' club anymore, and we don't have to shop in their stores anymore either. Finally, a cool and unique clothing line just for women. Dope tees and hats for the patriotic concealed carry and 2A girl. So what are you waiting for? Go check out carrygirlgear.com today.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.